We've got Blazing Dominion, Medius Lore, and some other cards as well that we're going to take a look at now. I haven't read any of these yet, but I've seen people post them online and talk about them and saying like this is finally going to give Medius some serious support. So let's find out what exactly we have. They are crazy. All right, let's find out. We have Videlium, the power patron of chaos extermination. Okay, we're adding pendulums, which, all right, let's see how the execution is, because that means, by the way, that means we now no longer have a middle ground. These are either going to be awesome or I'm going to hate them with the out of the window, because that's what pendulums always do to me. But I'm assuming they're probably locked to the archetype, so like I'm thinking it's fine. Level 12, pendulum scale 11, pendulum effect. You can only use the pendulum effect once per turn. You can activate one of these effects. Destroy this card, and if you do, special summon a power patron monster from your hand or graveyard. Destroy this card. Also, this turn, power patrons you control whose original level is 12 will gain 5,000 attack. Okay, so far, not crazy. Cannot be normal summoned or set. Must be special summoned from your face-up extra deck or grave by returning a fusion, synchro, and exceed from your face-up field and or grave to the extra deck. You can only use the first effect once per turn. If this card is added to your extra deck face-up, you can add a power patron card for... Oh, never mind. Never mind. That's good, because you can always activate the second effect because it just applies a condition for the future. That will put itself into the extra deck, and then it's Rhoda. It's Rhoda with extra steps. It's Rhoda that also boosts your other power patrons by 5,000. Okay. If this card is special, banish all cards from the graveyards face down, unaffected by non-power patron monster effects. Okay, this feels like they're turning the power patrons themselves into an archetype, which is an interesting spin that I wasn't expecting. Because to me, so far, it was like, okay, it's like you've got a bunch of different archetypes that all incorporate Medius, and every archetype has one power patron in the main deck, and then one corresponding power patron in the extra deck. And now it's like, oh, now we have power patron. Oh, there's more, because all of these I think are power patrons. Let me read the others first, but the first one is a pretty darn good start, because, I mean, this is good for any deck that wants to have a power patron card in their hand. Yeah. Power patron Shadow Beast Nervado. Pendulum scale 1. You can only use the pendulum effect once per turn. When a monster effect activated by your opponent in response to the activation of your power patron or archmage monster effect resolves, you can negate that effect and destroy this card. Okay, we're doing this again. It's kind of like Ryziel Cross, but realistically it isn't, because it's only something that's activated in response, which is way less broken than Ryziel Cross. It is way less broken. It's just like, okay, if you try to ash something, you can negate it, but you can't, like, open game state Nibiru, you can't negate that. So it's realistically, it's the same type of negation, but it's not the same power level as Cross by far. And it's also, in the scale, it's not a starter. So this card is always treated as an Archmage card. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per. Does this work with the Archmage field spell? Because you have to name an Archmage card, right? So you just name this, even though it doesn't technically have Archmage in its name, but you can, it is treated as an Archmage card. So okay. So you can search this one. Banish the top 3 cards of your deck face down. Destroy this card, and if you do, special summon a Nerva, the power patron of creation from your extra deck. This is treated as a fusion summon. If this card is added to your extra deck face up, you can special a power patron or archmage monster from your deck or face up extra, except power patron, a Shadow Beast Nervado. This one feels weaker to me, because it's simply, I mean, it seems like they all have something that activates when they are added to the extra deck face up, but this one is a lot harder to get into your extra deck because it doesn't have an effect that can destroy itself at any time. Medius can summon this directly. Right. Medius summon it. and then link to... Oh no, you just use its effect. Banish 3 cards of your deck face down, destroy this card. Okay. Read Pendulum Treasure. Oh god, dude. Why am I reading Pendulum cards, man? Pendulum Treasure. Oh god, yeah, I see it already in the preview of the effect text. Yeah, I see it. Oh no. Add a Pendulum monster from your deck to your extra deck face up. Yep. Alright, so that's just gonna trigger all of these. Oh god, okay. So this card is now emergency teleport for any Power Patron or Archmage. Power Patron Shadow Machine Zagrado. You can only use the Pendulum effect. This one looks like the DoomZ one. You can only use the Pendulum effect once per turn. During your main phase, you can destroy this card and a Power Patron or DoomZ monster in your hand or face-up field. Then you can destroy one card on the field. This card is always treated as a DoomZ card. You can only use the first and second effect once per turn. You can banish the top 3 cards of your deck face down. Destroy this card, and if you do, special summon Jupiter from your extra deck. Then you can attach a card from your hand to it. This card's added. You can add a Power Patron or DoomZ spell trap from your deck to your hand. Okay, I'm having trouble right now. Evaluating these because basically there's two ways to play these cards, right? You can either just play them in their respective decks because they can work, right? Like this card can work in DoomZ. This card can work in Archmage. And it's like, if they are used like that, then they're probably good but fine. But if it's just gonna unite this deck in like one central thing where you play all the most broken cards from all the archetypes in one deck, and it's just Power Patron combo. But I guess we'll have to wait and see for that, because it's really, these are tough to evaluate. I feel like I can see that they're good cards. I can see that they are powerful, but it's hard for me to evaluate how exactly you're gonna see them, because like, yeah, you can only use, okay, this is the Elven Note one. If a Power Patron and or Elven Note monster is special to your field while this card's in the Pendulum Zone, you can destroy this card, and if you do, draw 2 cards, then discard 1 card. Ooh, okay. Oh, that is interesting. I'm assuming it also has, yeah, it does have that. Okay, banish the top 3 cards of your deck face down. Destroy this card. If you do, special summon Junora. This is treated as a synchro summon. If this card's added to your extra deck face up, add a Power Patron or Elven Notes card from your extra deck or grave to your hand. Okay, this has the least powerful effect when it's added to the extra deck, at least. Because I was about to say, like, pop itself, draw 2, discard 1, and then get the bonus is pretty powerful. But it's not a starter because it relies on already being able to summon. This fixed Elven Notes recovery problem. Yeah, I like, the more I am thinking about it, like, the more it feels like, as of now, these just really seem like powerful support for the individual decks, which is fine in my book. It feels like you can just, for example, this card means you can make DoomZ more consistent by playing Pendulum Treasure in it. You can play the Archmage one in Archmage, and it's searchable, and it negates Ash Blossom if you want to or whatever, and you can play Pendulum Treasure in that as well, so it's a starter for the deck as well. Or it's a really good summon off of Medius. So like, are people really gonna start playing like Archmage, DoomZ, whatever, all in the same deck? I don't think so. And so this more seems like generic support for each individual deck, which I think is okay. I think that's fine, actually. All right. Unleashed Power Patron Portal Terminus. Normal spell. You can only use the first and second effect once per turn. Send a Power Patron from your deck or extra deck to the grave. Then you can add a Dark Fairy from your deck to your hand. Also, you cannot declare attacks this turn except Power Patrons. Send a Power Patron from deck or extra. Okay, so this is just Rhoda for Medius. This can be used in anything, though. Anything that relies on Dark Fairies. Like, yeah, Dark Lord is getting support. Aluber, yeah, you can add Aluber. It, like, Brandon is not gonna like that you have to put a Power Patron into your extra deck, because that is going to take up extra deck space, which definitely matters for some decks. And not being able to attack, especially, I mean, obviously only going second, but it is a drawback. So there's that. But interesting card in general. At the start of the damage step, if your Power Patron monster battles an opponent's monster, you can banish this card from your grave, banish that opponent's monster face down. Okay, I mean, really powerful card. Both inside the Medius decks, but also outside. I'm wondering, is there any benefit to sending a Power Patron from the deck or extra deck to the graveyard? Or are we just losing a resource? Like, because I'm feeling like, for example, I'm thinking Archmage, because that's the deck I've played the most. In Archmage, do you have a benefit from getting rid of the owl? Isn't that usually a bad thing? Like, you want the owl in the deck to summon it from Medius, I guess. The first pendulum can summon from grave. That's fair if you draw it with... oh, this is a Dark Fairy as well. So you can search this and then destroy it. Oh, hold up. So we send one from deck to grave. Then we activate... We search this. We destroy this. Special summon the one we just sent. And then we also get to add any Power Patron card. Oh, all right. Yep. That's very busted. That is very busted indeed. Yep. Card is good. Null Power Patron Realm Vidalia field spell. You can only use the first effect of this card's name once per turn. Reveal a Power Patron monster from your extra deck. Banish a card from your hand face down. Then add to your hand or special a monster from your deck that mentions the revealed monster. So you reveal Nerva, you can special anything that mentions Nerva. Or like, I mean, any of these basically can be summoned, right? Yeah, okay. Monsters your opponent control lose 100 attack for each banished card. That can potentially get really annoying if you can resolve a couple of these. Like, just as a bonus effect, this can be like, if there's 10 banished cards, like everything minus 1,000 is kind of annoying. Your opponent cannot activate cards effects in the grave while you control Nerva, Jupiter, and Juno. Okay, fair enough. Like that, this third effect sounds extra cringe, but realistically, what this effect reads is if you win the game, you win the game even harder. Because it's like, if my opponent is getting that far, bro, if my opponent gets to summon Nerva, Jupiter, and Junora, and whatever else, I'm okay, bro, you win anyways. It's fine. I won't use my graveyard. Like, it's completely unnecessary, and it's still cringe that it has the potential to maybe be annoying. But for the most part, bro, if your opponent has summoned all 3 of the boss monsters, they get an Abyss Dweller. Sure, fair enough. But this card is still good. But what matters is the first effect, not the third. It's a Malice field spell kind of bonus effect. Yeah, basically, right? The Malice field spell also has like a third effect where I don't think it has ever mattered in any of the games. But it's like, I think it's if all 3 traps are banished, all of the Malice Link monsters gain like 2,500 attack or something. It's like completely irrelevant. Archmage Impasto Recapture. You can only activate 1 card with this card's name per turn. If you control an Archmage monster, you can activate this card the turn it was set. When your opponent activates a monster effect, banish a fusion monster you control, and if you do, negate the activation. And if you... Oh, man. And if you do that, destroy that card. Then if you have 3 or more different monster types on your field, you can return all spell traps your opponent controls to the hand. Okay, I mean, having to summon a fusion monster before you can use it is at least a level of balancing to it. But genuinely, I would love if we could stop making counter traps. It just feels like the only way they have to make actual playable trap cards is, oh, slap a floodgate on it or slap a negate on it. It feels so uninspired. It's like, yeah, I don't know. Give every deck a freaking Omni Negate trap. Why not? And this one even interacts with hand traps on the first turn. Like, this is everything I hate in trap card and card design in general. This card is cringe. And not only the crazy thing is, like, it's even an insane card against certain decks going second because you just bounce all their back row as well. But at least going second, at least you have to like play into the board first and summon the fusion monster before you can use it. But yeah, I mean, look, this is literally one of those cards where I look at it and I'm like, I hope they don't play it. I hope they don't play it is literally all I can say, which is the saddest thing that can happen when you look at a new Yu-Gi-Oh card and you're like, yeah, I hope that doesn't see play. They probably play it. Elven Notes Regina, level 6 wind spellcaster. You can only use the first, second, and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. Quick effect, you can send one other Elven Notes card from your hand or field to the grave, special summon this card from your hand. If this card is normal or special to the center main monster zone, you can special summon an Elven Notes from your deck. If this card is sent to the grave as synchro material, you can add it to your hand. Okay. Bro, they made Elven Notes Holy Sue? The problem is the force center zone. I mean, I get that, like, because this is in the center monster zone, the other one that you summon will not be in the center, which could be a problem. But still, this is a really, really good card. The other one can be the power patron. The other one has to be not center. Wait, so it's perfect. So it's not a drawback, it's just perfect. Because it goes in the center and then the other one goes and then they switch and okay. Next question. Is this an interruption turn 0? Because it does work turn 0, but how do we turn it into a interrupt? Yes. Okay, how good? Hand rip or bounce. It hand loops or bounces turn 0. What type of hand rip are we talking? Are we talking look at their hand, or I forgot, honestly. It's been a few weeks since we read the Elven Notes. Random banish until the end phase. Okay, it's like Omega, right? That's not a strong interruption. The bounce is the more relevant one. So, okay, so quite frankly, it's not Holy Sue, and it's also not 5 mana. The level of interruption here is a lot weaker, right? Like, sure, it's a small interrupt, but like both Arthalion, like 5 mana into Arthalion and Holy Sue into Raisin are more interruption than that. So it's like a small interrupt, but most importantly, it's also a great starter extender in everything, right? It dodges targeting effects, yeah. I don't know, I like it. I like this type of interaction. I think like if you tell me, oh, this is a turn 0 play and it's a bounce and it's a starter as well, like, I don't hate that. I don't hate any of that. I think that's fine. You know, I think it's a good card. Don't get me wrong, but I like that type of stuff. Like I would rather play against these types of cards than these types of cards. So I don't know. Good. It's good in my book. That's a strong set of cards overall. I'm not gonna lie. That is a strong set of cards. I'm hesitant because with like nowadays with Yu-Gi-Oh archetypes, I'm always so scared that it just ends up too broken, which is why I'm hesitant these days to say like, oh, I like this design, because like I said the same shit when Malice came out. You know, I said like, hey, I like that, you know, it plays with the banished pile, you know, we got some cool like trap interactions that can dodge stuff, and then like the deck turned out to be a complete insane combo slop that I hated. So I always take it with a grain of salt, but to me what this feels like is, or like the Medius lore as a whole, the way it's been approached so far is something that I can get behind with, because it feels like they've managed to create different decks that all center around Medius, right? We've got Archmage, we've got DoomZ, we've got Elven Notes, we've got 3 separate archetypes that are not really meant to go together, right? Power Patron already existed, but Power Patron, and that's what I'm trying to get to, Power Patron just feels like a concept that works in all 3 of these decks, but it's more like a supplementary engine, the Power Patrons, right? It's like you've got Elven Notes has its own Power Patron, DoomZ has its own Power Patron, Archmage has its own Power Patron, and they all kind of center around their own play style, but they're not meant, at least it feels like, and in practice they also haven't been mixed together, right? It doesn't feel like Snake Eyes where all of them somehow go into the same Snake Eye deck, where it's like, oh, I put Snake Eye cards, Thea Bellstar cards, Azamina cards, all that in the same deck, and now Snake Eye is dead, so now White Forest is the next best thing where you do all that, right? That's not what it feels like with Medius, right? In this case, the power patrons, once again, maybe you can play a pure power patron deck with these, but for the most part, I think it's just going to be a buff to Elven Notes, because Elven Notes can make use of the Elven Note power patron and maybe some of the other power patrons here as well. Archmage is going to make use of the Archmage power patron and maybe some of the other ones as well. So it's all going to be like you're gonna have your own Archmage power patron deck, you're going to have an Elven Notes power patron deck, and so on, right? So in that sense, these kind of feel like, what's the most comparable thing from recent archetypes? Like what? Just a small thing, or like maybe a big deal, depending on how good exactly these are. But it helps each archetype a little bit. Maybe Azamina, but without an Omni Negate, right? It's like Azamina that helps all. Like Azamina also technically helped Snake Eyes and White Forest and maybe other decks, but like for the most part, also wasn't played pure, even though you could. But yeah. DoomZ gets even more. Yeah, we're not done yet. I'm just like rambling about the design of this lore, because I can't overstate how important this whole lore thing is to me. Not because I care about the lore particularly, because we've seen with Snake Eye how bad it can be if they don't properly handle their lore archetypes. Because people love lore. That's for sure. That's a fact. People like when these archetypes release that have lore behind them and they get continuous support over time. So I like that they're doing it. But the problem is, if your deck is too powerful and you keep adding more cards to it and it gets even more powerful from the competitive aspect, that's awful. And so you've got to fine tune these really carefully. And I feel like with Medius, they're doing a better job. But yeah, we've got new DoomZ cards as well. We've got DoomZ 8 over Graflario, rank 5 wind machine, materials 3 level 5 monsters. Once per turn, you can also exceed summon it by using any DoomZ exceeds monster. Transfer the materials. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name once per turn. Detach one material from this card, add a DoomZ spell trap from your deck to your hand, then you can destroy a card in the field. If this card is destroyed by card effect, you can special a non-exceed DoomZ monster from your deck. That card's crazy, isn't it? 13. Oh, is X 10? My bad. What is 5? Oh, V is 5, right? Yeah, my bad. That card's crazy. Rank up any DoomZ, add a spell trap, and then you have the free choice. Do I pop an opponent's card? Do I pop another DoomZ card? Because a lot of them trigger when they're destroyed, or just destroy itself to special a non-exceed DoomZ from deck or grave. K9 bridge into DoomZ now. Awesome. Love K9. DoomZ command Adrastea. Equip spell. You can only use the second and third effect of this card's name once per turn. The first time the equipped monster would be destroyed by battle each turn, it is not destroyed. During your main phase, you can destroy the equipped monster, and if you do, special summon a DoomZ monster from your hand, grave, or banishment. In defense, if this card's in your grave, you can target a face-up monster you control, equip this card to it, then take damage equal to its rank. This card seems okay. This feels like it's not a great draw. This feels like a one-of because it's not a starter, and it's like maybe DoomZ is just hungry enough for good equip spells that it might play it, because maybe you have a way. I don't remember. They had some way. Was it searching equip spells, or was it sending equip spells from deck to grave? Both? Okay, because this is a good send from deck to grave, right? Because you can just send it to grave, re-equip it, and then pop. And in some ways, like in DoomZ, popping your own monsters is even a benefit, right? So it's not bad. It's not bad. It's not insane like the Exceed, but it's not terrible. And it can equip opponents' monsters. That's a good call, yeah. I mean, the bigger problem is not like the activation requirement in terms of you have to destroy the monster, or can sometimes be a benefit. The problem is that you need a target, right? You need a target, either in grave or banishment, or another DoomZ monster in hand already. Like if you don't have a DoomZ, you just can't use this, is the problem, right? But it's a decent card. Not the best draw, but a decent card. And I mean, as long as your hand has starters, it's still going to be a fine draw. It's not like a brick. All right, we've got a generic trap card that didn't see that much hype because it is, well, a generic trap card, but let's see. Summon Shock, continuous trap. Each time a monster is normal or special summoned, place a summon counter on this card. If the fourth summon counter is placed on this card, remove all summon counters from this card, and if you do, send all monsters on the field to the graveyard. It's kind of cool. It's better than I expected, probably. I mean, it's kind of cool that it stays there. It's weird because I'm not gonna call it a good card, but I feel like this is the kind of shit that continuous trap cards should be doing, rather than saying like, if your opponent has summoned 2 times, they cannot summon anymore. It's like, it actually makes a cool use of the fact that it's continuous, right? Because it happens over and over and over again, right? But not only that, it doesn't like, it does also send your own monsters if you control the card. So it's not like you can just activate it behind a board and just call it a day because your opponent can never play into it. But it just stays around, and so it's like a Nibiru type thing where if your opponent, like, you just can't summon 4 times anymore or everything goes to the graveyard. But it also, if you only summon 3 times, then your opponent summons once, it immediately blows up the board. So it's kind of cool. Yeah, I like it. 2 of this will go crazy. Yes, except for the fact that a second copy doesn't matter at all. Like, the second copy literally has no text on it if you have 2 of these. Because it's just, it's 1 counter per summon per card. And it doesn't, like, speed up the process or anything. It doesn't help at all. It doesn't make a difference. You stagger them. Oh, wait. No, I was trying to make fun of you, but you're the genius. I'm the idiot. No, you win. Wait, that's funny. You just don't activate them at the same time. Oh, I see it. That's fun. That's awesome. That's funny. Yeah, because then when one gets to 4 counters, the other one is at 2. So the other one resets back to 0. All the monsters are sent. Then they summon 2 more monsters. Then the other one's at 4. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Probably not going to happen very often because I don't know if this card will see any play. And you're definitely not going to have 2 very often. But that is funny. I don't know. This to me, this feels like a continuous trap done right. I don't know what to say. It feels, it doesn't feel. The world in which this card sees play, I think, would be pretty cool. Because it would imply that a trap card like this is not too slow. Because for the most part, I mean, what's going to happen against most decks if you activate this card is like, they're just going to like kill you probably. But this is how an actually 2-sided card looks, by the way. Like, because you can't just activate this behind a board like Summon Limit, because it's going to out your own board as well. I think it's a cool card. Power Sink Stone, but yeah, it's like Power Sink Stone, but cooler. Power Sink Stone is like cringe because it's skill drained for the rest of the turn whenever it has 2 counters. Well, yeah. This card's, I like this card. I think it's fun. You would never main deck it though because it sucks going second. And then we have Subspace Battle. Normal spell. You can only activate 1 card with this card's name per turn. Apply this effect 3 times. Each player reveals a monster in their deck, except a monster with question mark attack. Add the monster with higher attack to the hand of the player that chose it. Also, destroy the monster with lower attack. And if you do, inflict 500 damage to the player that chose it. If they have the same attack, shuffle them into the deck. Each player cannot activate the effects of monsters with the same name as the monster they chose for the rest of this turn. I feel like that last sentence ruins it completely. I feel like up until this point, it was an interesting card. And I was ready to start thinking about the applications. It's a funny board breaker. How is it a funny board breaker? You just reveal like Lava Golem, I guess, and hope they don't have monsters with more. Yeah, okay. I mean, dude, I guess, okay, fair enough. Yeah, you can technically, if your opponent doesn't have. But the problem is it doesn't work if your opponent has 1 Nibiru in the deck. Or anything with more than 3,000, I guess. But you could reveal the Kaiju with 3,300 attack. But then you get 3 Kaijus And also, first of all, you have to play 3 kaijus. And you cannot give your opponent multiple kaijus. But yeah, I guess the only way this works is if you reveal cards that you don't want to activate because of this last sentence. FTK deck, call, droll, Ash, Fuva, Nib, and go full combo. Yes, except for the fact that, like, you can chain Fuva to this and you can Ash it. But yes. But I'm pretty sure it doesn't work like that. I'm pretty sure it only locks you out of the cards that you reveal. It doesn't lock your opponent out of the card that you reveal. It's just the monsters that you choose you can't use, and the monsters your opponent chooses they can't use. So it doesn't work the way you think it works. It's not a triple cross-out designator, guys. It's each player. Yes, each player. Yeah, okay. The sentence. There's more words in the sentence, though. Can we please... Let's read the rest of the sentence together, okay? Each player cannot activate the effects of monsters with the same name as the monsters they choose for the rest of this turn. All right? That's not how it works. Okay, I can see some funny applications for this card. And by funny applications, I mainly mean trying to add cards like kaijus or lava golems to your hand when you go second. Which is an interesting thing to do. Like, but the problem is, like, Lava Golem, if, like, literally, I think this card, if Lava Golem had 3001 attack, this card would be good. Because siding 3 Lava Golem and 3 of this could be a genuine approach against certain decks. The problem is, Lava Golem has 3000 attack, which means that your opponent can just activate, can just have Nibiru in the deck and it doesn't work. Isn't there a card that already searches lava? Yeah, but this searches 3 lava golems if it works. That's the thing, right? Like, 1 lava golem is nothing, but like you could search 3 if it actually worked. But like, and that's good because you can give your opponent multiple lava golems. Your opponent's board has 5 monsters. You can lava golem 3 times because you can even tribute the other lava golems for lava golems. So like, you're going to reduce your opponent board literally to nothing if you would get this off, right? But the problem is if your opponent just plays 1 singular Nibiru, they don't need 3 Nibirus, guys. You apply the effect 3 times in sequence. You reveal a Lava Golem, they reveal Nib. Because they have the same attack, they go back into the deck. So they can reveal the same Nibiru over and over and over again and counter your Lava Golem. It does not work. So the only thing that you can realistically do with this is search 3 Kaijus. But the problem is, siding 3 kaijus and 3 of this is not the same quality as 3 of this and 3 lava golem, because lava golem is a decent card on its own. Kaijus have not aged well. Kaijus are not strong nowadays. Like, you wouldn't be playing, you wouldn't be wanting to draw 3 Jizukirus or whatever. And even if you do, even if you get 3 of the things, you reveal a bad weak card first, so they reveal Nib, and then after the Nib okay, they get the Nib into their hand, you destroy a random card, and then you just hope they only play 1 Nib, and then you reveal Lava Golem. Okay, sure. The problem is, most people going first these days have more than 1 Nib in their deck. It's a funny card though. It makes you think. I think it's funny. Play this in Fire King and use the destroy effect. Yeah, the problem is it doesn't really have applications in that way, right? Like, you could say like, oh, I can reveal 3 very small cards and get them all into the graveyard, so it's triple Foolish Burial or something. Like, yeah, sure. But the problem is you can't activate any of the effects this turn, which typically kills these types of cards, right? Like, what? Name 3 good cards, even in Fire King, right? Okay, would you play a card in Fire King that sends Berong? Think about it that way, right? If you destroy a Berong in your deck, your opponent adds a card from their deck to their hand. If you play this card to destroy 3 cards in your deck, your opponent gets to add 3 big monsters from their deck to their hand, which is not good. So yes, if you're playing for next turn, you're going to trigger your Berong to get a Fire King search next turn. All it costs was the opponent adding 3 cards from their deck to their hand. Ah, cool. It's not that, you know, it's not that good. What about some Exodia FTK shit? All right, so you can reveal 3 Exodia pieces and then they go into the graveyard, probably, because, I mean, So your opponent gets to add 3 cards from deck to hand, but it doesn't matter because you're trying to FTK. And so I guess you play like what? Dark Factory of Mass Production to add them back to your hand. And then I guess, yeah, sure. I don't know if it's gonna be a working concept, but I see what you're saying. But yeah, Arthalion. Yeah, we're playing Exodia Draco Tail with Subspace Battle to reveal 3 Exodia pieces with this, get him into the graveyard, and then make Arthalion with 3 monsters in hand, add the 3 Exodia pieces back from the graveyard. Where do the other 2 Exodia pieces come from? We don't talk about that. We're just gonna draw them with the trap cards on the opponent's turn. No problem. We just activate Flame and Horn, and we got the whole squad together because we've added 3, and we just activate the Draco Tail traps to draw the other 2, and we won the game. Easy as that. He won't reveal 3 big monsters? Okay. I know this is a completely hypothetical scenario and will never happen, all right? What was your counter argument to my proposed strategy to reveal smaller monsters to the Exodia pieces so that I can add them to my hand immediately? Was that how you were trying to be smart right now? It's like, I won't let you send them to the graveyard to add them back to your hand later. I'm just going to add them to your hand immediately. What are you going to do about that? What are you going to do about that? You can search pendulum monsters. Yeah, you could search. Wait, I guess you can reveal the 5,000 attack power patron, add them to your hand, but then you can only use the scale effect and not the other effect anymore. I don't know. It seems like all things considered, it seems like a meme card that probably won't see play, but it's a funny thing to think about. I feel like.